What bunion correctors work best? So make sure you watch this video. I'm going to talk you through what I have found that what bunion correctors work best. My name's Daniel Fitzpatrick. I am a podiatrist here at Sydney Foot Solutions, and we have been successfully treating bunions for over 20 years without surgical intervention. So the good news is you can make a huge difference to a bunion through conservative management, and we get asked about bunion correctors all the time. And so there are most bunion correctors are a complete and utter waste of time, in my opinion. We have tried many of them out. And I think that when you talk about bunion correctors, you must remember that bunion correctors are probably, if we had a criticism of bunion correctors, it's the fact that they are completely and utterly oversold what they do. The reality is that a bunion corrector, whether you look at a night splint or you look at a more this style or just something that goes in between two toes, all they're doing is pulling apart your connective tissue. So when I say connective tissue, I'm talking about the stuff in between your bones. And so what that does is it helps to pull apart, if we pull apart that connective tissue, it helps to stimulate that natural lubricant within the joint, and it helps to pull apart the connective tissue so you can put it back into a better position. So the reality is that just bunion correctors alone are not going to correct your bunion. They will help a little bit, but they aren't going to correct it without proper professional care, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to show you what I think works best. And then if you want to source it yourself, you can definitely go and get it. If not, we actually sell them here in the clinic, and we do have them here in the clinic. In fact, we give them to our patients for free if they're doing our treatment. So obviously I think they work to a degree. So with bunions, so there's a whole range of bunion correctors. Let's just quickly touch on some of the ones that are out there. So the one that is really commonly pushed, particularly on Amazon and those sorts of platforms, is a night splint. So night splints, the research shows, and in my opinion as well, they do not work as well as we would like. A night splint is almost like it's got like a Velcro around it, and it's almost like a plastic thing that pulls your toe bit out like that, okay? And you wear it at night, and it can be very uncomfortable. What I would say is night splints were originally designed to support surgical outcomes. So after a surgeon had gone and cut up your foot and broken things, so when your body was healing and setting, the night splint would help to hold it out like that while you were non-weight bearing, particularly when you were sleeping and things like that. So the problem with a night splint is that, and it's a problem with all bunion correctors in some respects, is that a night splint will only hold your foot when you're non-weight bearing. And the difficulty is that when you're walking, so bunions are caused by the way you stand and the way you walk, and the level of force in the way you stand and the way you walk is very significant. So the reality is that bunion splints only hold you when you're non-weight bearing. So the difficulty is it can correct you, but then when you go for a walk, you push it straight back out of alignment. So we find they're not as good. The other one that you often see people bring in is they bring in something that goes between the first and the second toe. And the criticism of that is that the reality is that those devices don't help as much as we would like, because they only separate the first and the second toe. So what we often find is that they create this sort of level of pressure within the shoe. So often they can hurt people within their shoe, and they often push the rest of the toes across like that, which doesn't do anything to correct your bunion within itself. The best ones we find are these ones. So they are curved to your foot, if you can see that, and your big toe goes in here, your little toes go in there, and they help to pull apart all of your toes. It's not the end of the world if you can't get your two little ones in, but what they do is they help to pull those apart and help to pull them all out. We find that they help within our treatment process a great deal. So definitely, if you had to choose a bunion corrector, ideally you would do it as part of treatment. If you're not, or you don't live in the area or anything like that, they would be the ones stuff that looks a bit like that. That's what I would be going for, because I think they help to pull apart all your connective tissues. The reality is that a bunion is caused by the way you stand and the way you walk. And the reality is that if you don't help the way you stand, the way you walk, you probably won't help a bunion through conservative management approaches. And that's why we see so many bunions. So the way we approach a bunion treatment is that it's a gentle hands-on technique, and we work on correcting that level of alignment, and then we give you exercise to support those changes. And we do that over a process. We take a before x-ray and then we usually take an after x-ray and actually show you actually measure the differences. And we usually see significant structural change over the course of our treatment process. We see stacks and stacks of bunions, and definitely the key takeaway is that bunion correctors are helpful, but be aware they will only take you so far. So we always strongly recommend some level of treatment by a professional. If you would like a further in-depth assessment on what's actually happening with your bunion, we're offering a 60% off initial bunion assessment. It's in the link below. Please feel free to check it out. We see stacks and stacks of bunions. That way you can come in and get a personalized opinion on your bunion. We can give you more expert advice around your bunion. I hope this video was helpful. So the short takeaway is that bunion correctors are very helpful, but only to a degree. If you like some of the information that we're giving, we've got stacks of information on our bunion. Make sure you click like and subscribe our channel. We release videos at least every week with stacks of helpful advice so that you can manage your bunion and avoid surgery.